Yeah. For those of you that wanna know what we're all about, it's like this, yo. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. He doesn't need his name up in lights, he just wants to be heard. Whether it's the beat of the mic, he feels so unlike everybody.
Alright guys, Man's gonna get us going. I wanted to bring a little energy to the room though. So one of the things that we do in Austin. Whoa! Oh, there's no white chill or something. You ready for this? That's it right there. Alright brother, you ready? That's the ghost. Just shake that up right now. We'll shake it. Danny, we got one for you. What's up? Oh yeah. You ready? I'll crack it over with me. Yeah. Pour water on your hand. Come on, baby. Good. I see why you drink it. Drink it out too. I've been on this for years. Alright, man. I got it. Welcome to in-person training. So hope you guys had a great travel day yesterday or Sunday when you guys came in. We're really excited to have you out. So as we dive into this, we have a jam-packed day today, which is mainly our heavy classroom day. Tomorrow we'll be in the field, so Wednesday, Thursday, getting our hands dirty with the project. Hopefully we get a 5-star review from the customer, so we're really excited about that. So whatever questions you have, now's the time to ask them, right? So with that said, we'll kick off our first section here, which is Get Your Saturdays Back, our vision and brand overview. And Lance and Tim will take it from here.
So Get Your Saturdays Back is our slogan. A lot of your stuff's going to have GYSB on it. This is what we want our clients to know beforehand, really, is just like, we are a turf company, but we're also a lifestyle brand. We're focusing obviously on our installs and, you know, the cleanliness of them, the seams, all that good stuff, but we're really trying to focus on like smiling faces, because smiling faces sells jobs.
And we want to have a my pleasure mindset. You know, you need to hold and take care of your employees. You need to take care of your business. But most importantly, we want to take care of our customers. It's not enough to just do what you said you were going to do. You have to go above and beyond.
Know your why. So like, know your why. Why are you doing this? Because there are going to be for sure days where it's like, dude, this kind of sucks right now. This is really hard. And if you don't know why you're doing it, you're going to get lost in the craziness. Don't get me wrong, like, I love turf. I think turf is awesome. I'm passionate about it, but like, not to the point where like turf gets me through hard days. So you got to have something else to fall back on, because you'll have getting rigged for the day. Like I said, maybe for you, that's a different rig, brother. That's it.
First things first, rest in peace.
Yeah, I'm excited about the job site too. I think like for me, most of my day to day is just like talking to people that potentially want to be franchisees. And it's like, we tell them about this, like, you're going to come to training and we're going to have you install turf alongside the crew. So like, I'm just excited to see it happen. Here we are now, we're in April, and like everybody's about to kick off their business.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it's going to be jam packed. It's kind of like what we've talked about. We don't want this to be like just on-site training. Like, we want it to be turf boot camp. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I would love if some feedback or something we got throughout the week was like, that was a lot. I would love for maybe more breaks or something.
Fuck a pigeonhole, I'm a night out, it's a different mode. I'ma have to make a paint of 6 on a pinky toe. Day 2, in-person training in Austin, Texas with Waterloo Turf. We've got our franchisees who have flown in from across the country, and today on the job site, we're putting in some turf work. We're gonna teach them how to make the job site absolutely seamless and beautiful for each of their clients back home. Let's go.
What's up, dude?
What up? Good morning.
Top of the moon. How are we? Good, bro. How are you?
Bobby.
Thomas? Chubb, what's up? How are we?
Good morning.
James? Bobby?
What's up, man?
Oh, yeah. Good to see you.
Chilled it, man.
It's sick. Looking good.
Yeah.
So this is the project space right here. It's Timmy's house.
My house.
So this is his house. We're gonna have Bobby run through exactly what's gonna be going on today.
Cool. We will start, I guess, the project site here. Edge of this deck, this black wall, straight across to this back fence. And then we're leaving a flower bed or landscape bed along this back fence and this fence here. So we're going to come off, I believe we said 3 feet off this back fence here. And then we're like 1.5 feet off of this front fence, 3 feet off this back fence. here all the way down to the house. And then off of this concrete pad here, we have 2 sets of 2x4 or 2x4 foot limestone pavers coming all the way out to the edge of this deck here, filled in with Black Star gravel. And then we'll have some edging around that. And then this kind of L shape around here is going to be all turf.
We're actually going to use a dingo on this project. So Uriel has access to one, which makes it really easy for jobs that we can get it back into the project site. So that's going to help move this thing along pretty quickly and clearing off all this topsoil and getting this out of here. So he's just going to bring that thing around here in a little bit, and then we'll just start scraping this thing off, getting some edging put in, and then keeping it moving from there. So yeah, y'all ready to get going?
Let's go. Come on.
All right.
This is where there's the least amount of stress, and this is where the most fun is. Or would you say otherwise?
I would agree with that. I like this.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, this is fun, but there are things that can come up that can make it stressful. And it's honestly more so like logistical.
Right.
So again, like the logistics of it is where some stress can be involved. So just making sure your stuff shows up on site in the morning just ensures that peace of mind of like everything we need is here. So you're not having to chase down delivery trucks or stone guys or whatever. And then these guys know what they need to do. So that's why that's the first win of the day, because that'll kick off all your other wins throughout the project.
I suppose busting a pipe, if you're digging, could add some stress to the middle of the job, or
It can add,
nick electrical line, bust a breaker.
never had that happen.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing that we've had happen is like a irrigation pipe or something.
Which is an easy fix, right?
Easy fix. Yeah, the guys,
Tapping it anyways.
yeah, they'll just cut it, reinstall a new piece, glue it. So it's like, again, if your crews have any irrigation experience, they'll be able to handle that super quickly.
Standard sizes, so it's stuff that you can have in the van on hand.
Yeah.
And it's not expensive material. It's just plastic pipe, really.
Yeah, and they should carry it on hand.
But like what we're doing right now is like scraping the surface is all we need, and bring it up with like when you do your installer meetings. I know you've had a couple, because a lot of these installers, they might be under the idea that we're removing 3 inches, and think about how much work that is, right?
That's a lot.
Like this is a lot of work, but then 3 more inches of soil. Then you got to think we got to throw that in the trailer,
And then you got-
wheelbarrow out, haul it off somewhere.
So here's an example. Let's say the grass was, the
top
soil
of
was
this.
perfectly even. We would want to dig down.
Yeah, but not across the whole yard.
Okay.
Right, we can just basically dig maybe this far out, right, and bring it down, and then just kind of have a gradual slope to it where you'll fill this in more with aggregate, and it might be a little bit thicker over here. So you want to
grade
see a
it
difference.
1% from the house, but I should fill that up with back.
Right. So yeah,
That makes
like,
sense.
just because it's up here, you don't have to take that distance out the whole yard. Just dig out around here a little
You're
bit.
just doing extra work at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's really, really helpful.
Yeah, we've seen no issues do it that way.
Cool.
Talk about some equipment before these guys bring it all back there. So obviously we got some wheelbarrows. This is like essential. Need these, at least 3 of them. These guys carry 4. Make sure they're quality too, so they're not breaking down and falling apart on you. It also is just another thing that like premium service, like have ideally premium equipment. So this is the plate compactor right here. This is the go-to. This is a really solid one. This is going to allow them to use it for quite a while with ideally not having too many issues. Obviously we've got our leaf blower here, which is really used at the end of the project site for the most part. Occasionally they'll use it in the beginning, just trying to like clean up the area a little bit before they scrape it. Power broom. We all know what this is. The steel power broom is the go-to. So again, one of these for sure. And if ideally they can have one of the ones that's more like a weed whacker, long pole extended without the wheels and without this guard. And then right here, we've got our infill spreader. We've got a couple of these that we bring. So like we talked about yesterday, this is really a 2-man job for every one of these. One guy pushing, one guy with the bag of infill, cutting it open and dumping it. So if you can get them to work as a tandem, they'll make sure the job continues to flow efficiently. And then we got our shovels. We got right here our hand tamper. So again, this is another compactor right here. So this is for tight corners, areas that can't get to. This is what you want to have. Otherwise, they've got a pickaxe. They got a couple of those that they're going to use to kind of start disrupting the soil in the base right now. And then it's about everything else. It's probably in the back of the truck. So knives, blades, nails if needed, staples if needed. So the goal behind everything is just like, we don't want our guys leaving site more than they need to. So it all kind of plays together, but it all starts with the very beginning, which is making sure material is on site.
One of the most important things when you're working in home services is to understand the trade really well. Our franchisees are not going to be installing turf. We primarily utilize subcontractors, but when they're here at training, we want them to understand the trade so that their crew and their employees, as they grow their business, can respect them because they know what they're talking about when it comes to the artificial turf trade.
More work on the hill.
Being out here on the job site, carrying the wheelbarrow, I mean, you're carrying 50 to 60 pounds of aggregate. It's not light. And it puts some perspective for these crews, what they go through.
Day two's been great because I've always been a hands-on guy. I like doing work, and it gives an appreciation to what our guys who are installing it and doing that hard labor for us, what they go through.
I know we're working off of a phone, but just to kind of like tweak your measurements, some editing features. So this is the measurement Thomas got. That's a good measurement. There's a little bit of a gap between the start and the finish, but that's not significant enough that like I probably wouldn't redo that measurement. I think that's pretty accurate. Look at your areas, everyone who measured, and let's just kind of compare and see like what areas did everyone get.
I got 1388 square feet.
Okay, so this one's at 1357. Rick, what'd you get for that?
I'm 1469 because I went and I did the full contour.
Right, you did the outside.
Yep.
And like a lot of the, we're only, so this is like 1360 or 1380. We're about 20 square feet off. That's pretty close. And a lot of it is like that curve that we did was pretty subjective. So to me, I think these are like really, really accurate and spot on.
It is cool, mother. All right, one of y'all want to drive it? Yes, sir. All right, so this right here is the speed line. So just push it to the right, and then whenever you want to stop, push it left. Yeah, you can push that one.
Crank it.
Crank that thing.
You have to work the business, and probably after a couple of years, you'll see, things successful coming on. But the first year is going to be a tough year. Don't get down on yourselves. You need advice. You got guys here that can help you all the time. That's what's great about franchising. Mm-hmm. But don't cut corners. The guys that really cut the corners of the franchise business are the ones that go under. Don't think you have to make the same profit on every job. All right? You want to be profitable, but you want to make sure that the customer's taken care of.
I've done most of my sales presentations selling to pets and selling to kids while the parents watch me. So imagine this right here. Sit on the floor with me. Crisscross here. Yep, we got dad up here, and then I've got the sample turf right here. Now I'm talking to dad up here. I'm engaging the kid right here in the conversation. So did your dad tell you about this?
He didn't.
Are you excited? I think he's going to give this to you for Easter.
I'm excited.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
huh?
Easter egg hunt.
When your friends come over, what do you think they're going to think?
Good turf.
Just outstanding. Yeah. So let me ask you this. You have a piggy bank?
I do.
So you're going to help dad pay for it?
I'll give
Outstanding. Yeah. Great. So tell you what I'll do also. Do you play soccer? What do you do? Is it Soccer. Once we get this done, I'll bring you by a soccer ball, and your first Saturday, when your dad has the mow, you can play soccer. How about I deliver that to you next Friday?
Perfect.
Sounds good?
Sounds great.
Dad, what do you think?
Do you like that sub? Please.
Please. So you can see what I'm doing right here in this particular situation. Look at the kids right here watching me out the window. What I'm saying is get the kids involved. Another thing, too, is I get the pets involved. I've made most of my sales with a French bulldog in my lap.
So when you're cutting turf this way, you just want to stay in between these. But when you're cutting across, you want to find one line right here, right? And you just run your blade and you just catch each little stitch in the same spot.
So you're not cutting.
And then you'll make sure you'll get a straight line.
Baby, do you ever wonder whatever happened way back when? Or if I see you again?
So we've got an air pressured staple gun right here. And so most crews will have this. It's another good question to ask you guys if they do, because you'll need this for nailer board, say you were attaching this bigger board to the fence. Yeah. This is something you would probably need, or concrete or something like that. But right here, this is kind of like the like Infinity Edge right here.
Pools, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a really clean look if you're going up with some, if they're backfilling this or like that, for instance. So what they did here is just wrap this turf over, and then they just air pressured stapled it in. And so when the client ends up backfilling this, it's gonna look like the turf just kind of disappeared into it. So very clean look. He's freehanding this thing right now, very impressive. So your guys potentially, depending on who you work with, could already have the skill and experience to freehand it like he's doing. Otherwise, you can get what's called a super seam tool. And again, you can flip the turf over. It'll allow you to trace it. And then you can either trace it with chalk. I've seen guys do that, or they just straight up go against it with the blade and just follow it.
And then are you cutting the one underneath first or the one on the top first?
Yeah, they cut either. Yeah. I mean, right now they're cutting the one on top. Yeah. But they do either.
So you already cut the one under.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is
So good.
primo. So,
Just hide it.
and so this is why we teach this and we make it mandatory on our installs. This takes more work. This takes time and attention to detail from the crew's perspective. So we're building a habit with these guys. So now, again, this guy's freehanding this thing. It's very impressive, but you can see how it's cut out of here. So this is the fat. If you were to do a straight seam, you'd come a few notches in right here. We cut about 8 inches at its max for the S seam.
You guys mentioned yesterday that sometimes they'll do the aggregate underneath the pavers. Sometimes they'll just do gravel all the way around. What's kind of the differentiator between one way or the other? Or is it just crew preference?
So that was super uneven ground.
Yep.
We got to level it out.
Yep.
So we're going to put aggregate underneath it, and they're going to get it leveled. That's going to be most times what you're doing. Rarely are you just going to be setting it on just straight dirt.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen because it's just like the dirt is completely hardened out and leveled, and the guys are like, this will work. But again, a lot of this comes back to like your crew having a crew warranty, because if they do, they're going to do it the right way.
Yep.
Like we want them to do it so that they don't have to come back and fix it.
My favorite part about training so far was getting the guys actually working the shovels and the wheelbarrows. And one of them said, when I was asking them like, hey, what stuck out the job site, was, man, this is really hard work.
Yeah.
And I think it was just good to see like, get them going, get the sweat glistening so that they can actually see like, it is hard work installing turf when you're on the crew side.
For me, one of the cool things, and I think it was our target for us when we were setting up this training, was to really make it like a boot camp. And so when we asked one of the owners, give us some feedback on training so far, his response was, I think we could use more breaks. And so I know for you, I know that got you going. That was about as good of a compliment as you could have gotten. But I mean, that truly has been the goal. It's like, we've got 4 days with you. I wish we could have more, but in these 4 days, we're going to pack it to where you leave this thing exhausted, wanting a vacation, but you're also going to leave with a lot of head knowledge about turf and just knowledge in general. And getting on the job site's hopefully going to connect that head knowledge with the actual physical. So I think so far for day 3, it's been a success.
Yeah, agree.
I sent Lance and Micah, his wife, a photo last night. Mariah and I just like laying on the turf.
Yeah. You want to enjoy what you purchased.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very enjoyable space.
Yeah.
You know, when you go out there, especially if you do little things here and there, it's just very enjoyable.
Yeah, my wife would empathize with that too. Of like, there's certain things we've all had the conversation of like, our wives being like, I wish this was different, and that would, if this was different,
yeah,
everybody would be coming over, right?
Yep.
And like the backyard's one of those key things.
And instead of measuring how tall the tallest weed was in the backyard, now you can. This is great. I love this. I want to sit back here.
We're coming out of training. It's high energy. Like, it's been a lot of fun. Like, you guys just got in the franchise, people just leaving their jobs, like people about to launch their business. Like, there's a lot of excitement. And so like, I would say, don't forget this moment, because you'll have to lean back on this moment as you're growing this business, because things get hard and you'll get bogged down in weeds that you didn't even know existed. We're here to give lives back. We're here to give families their time back. We want to get people off of the mower and more time making memories.
The Waterloo Turf logo inside. See? Come here. Come. See? And the Waterloo turf patch embroidered with our colors and logos.
There's a lot that's going on, and like we get very deep and technical in the turf product, but these next 30 days and then the next 90 days after that, again, like these are crucial moments of the business. And really, there's only going to be 3 things that matter at the end of the day. So number 1 is going to be finding the right crew. And like you build your business off of the right crew. The quality of the installation is how Lance built Waterloo Turf in Austin so well, and how him and Teddy built Waterloo Turf San Antonio so well. So like, don't skip that part. Sometimes it can be tempting to just like figure that out later. It's all about getting the right crew, and it will take you multiple crews likely to find the right crew. Number 2 is going to be business development. Again, just like over promote. Don't rely on digital ads. Digital ads are going to bring stuff your way. But as you just have been talking about, like the right people and what we believe all of you guys are going to go out and make it happen yourselves. Like, don't be a slave to Google. Own your business, own your relationships. And that's how you can really make this thing and control your own destiny, is if you go out and promote your business. And the last thing is going to be reviews. Okay. So we want you guys to all be getting at least 25 5-star reviews. That is the goal. If you can get 25 5-star reviews, when you go in and respond to these paid ads, you're going to build more trust. It's going to help your close rate to go up. People are going to look you up and they want to see those reviews. So those would be the 3 things that I would leave you guys with, is just like find the right crew, go out and promote the business, and go and get 5-star reviews.
Yeah, no, I mean, this week's been a ton of fun. I hope y'all have had fun. I hope y'all are leaving being like fired up, hopefully exhausted, filled with turf knowledge, ready to go blow up y'all's territory. So I've had fun. I want to give a special appreciation to obviously the entire team here. You know, we get the fun part of coming in and getting to talk to you guys about turf and be on the job site and all that good stuff. But these are the guys that really put the time and effort into setting this up. So shout out to y'all. Thank you for making it run so seamlessly. This is just the start. It's gonna be really fun to watch you guys take off, and we're just excited to be able to support y'all and get after it. So we've got a cool ceremony that we're about to do with you guys. We've been looking forward to it, so should we head on down? Yeah.
So we're gonna have you guys sit down right over here on these couches, and I'm gonna bring you guys up just in order of signing. Coulter, first to sign, first franchisee.
Come on.
Let's go. Congrats. History out of training. Let's go. Looks good, brother. Looks sharp and good. Mr. James.
Slide this thing on.
Oh, that looks good. James looks good in that. It's sharp. Fine, Mr. Rick. Bring it up, brother. All right. Yes. Thank you very much. Glad you're here.
Slide this thing on.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go here. With that, it's our first cohort graduated. Waterloo Turf are going to be launching their business in the next couple of weeks. Excited for you guys. Let's go, guys. Let's come on. Oh, feels nice to sit. Yeah, feels nice. Cheers. Cheers. That's probably the most fun week I've had in quite a few months, I think.
Yeah, I feel like it was just the culmination of all the work, all the planning, everything, and just like truly played out perfectly.
And just being able to take everybody through that process in 4 days, from getting in the install, the seam work, and then the sales, the business development.
Yeah,
I loved it.
like I would be confident in these guys to leave today and just go start estimating projects tomorrow. For me, like that was obviously the goal going in this training, to finish out the week feeling that. So it's nice to have that feeling, and I also believe that they all feel it too, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, and it was cool just like to end it with the jackets. It's just like,
yeah,
you know,
jackets were great. I'm excited for them, man. I'm genuinely extremely excited to see these guys go launch and see what they're going to grow out, and just be able to support them. So this is, I mean, it's just the beginning, but it's been a lot of fun so far. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I agree. Yeah. More fun coming.
More fun.
Work so hard, forgot how to vacation.